Hello everyone and welcome back to Anupam Tech Talk. In today's episode, we are going to talk about two fundamental concepts in relational databases, primary keys and foreign keys. We use databases to store information across multiple tables. But how does a database know which record is unique? And how does it know how one table is connected to another? That's where primary keys and foreign keys becomes extremely important. So today let's understand these concepts using simple example. Let's start with simple customers table. We have a customer ID, name and email address as a column. Now imagine our application needs to identify Rahul's exact record. We could search using his name, but names are not necessarily unique. We could use an email address, but depending on our business rules, that may not be the best identifier. So we need something that uniquely identifies each record. That's the job of primary keys. The primary key is a column or sometimes a combination of columns that uniquely identifies each row in a table. In our example, customer ID can be the primary key. Customer 101 is Rahul, customer 102 is Priya, and customer 103 is Amit. Each customer has a unique ID. A primary key must uniquely identify a record and it cannot be null value. This gives us a reliable identifier for every row. Here is what this might look like in SQL. We define customer ID as a primary key. From the this from this point, the database knows that every customer ID must uniquely identify a customer. So we try to insert another customer with the same customer ID. The database can reject that operation. This is important because the database itself helps protect the integrity of our data. Now, let's introduce another table, orders. Each order has its own order ID, but notice something interesting. The orders table also contains customer ID. Why? Because an order belongs to a particular customer. Order 1001 belongs to customer 101. Order 1002 belongs to the same customer 101, and order 1003 belongs to customer 102. So customer ID is helping us create a relationship between these two tables. This brings us to the foreign key. A foreign key is the column that references a key in another table. In our example, customer ID is the primary key in the customers table. The customer ID in the orders table can be a foreign key referencing that primary key. This tells the database that these records are related. In simple terms, the primary key identifies the record while the foreign key helps connect records between tables. Here is An easy way to remember the difference. A primary key answers the question, who are you? It identifies a specific record. A foreign key answers, who are you connected to? It establishes a relationship with another table. Another important difference is that a primary key must be unique. A foreign key does not necessarily have to be unique. In fact, the same customer ID can appear in many orders because one customer can place many orders. This gives us one of the most common relationship in database design, one to many. One customer can have many orders, but each order belongs to a particular customer. So the customers table has one record for that customer, while the orders table can contains many records referencing that customer ID. This is one of the most common pattern you will see in real world application. Foreign keys provides another important benefits. They can help protect data integrity. Imagine someone tries to create an order for the customer ID 999, but customer 999 does not exist in our customers table. A, proper, a properly configured foreign key can prevent this invalid relationship from being inserted. This concept is called referential integrity. In simple terms, the database helps make sure that relationship between tables remains valid. And this brings us to a broader engineering lesson. Database does not Database design is not just about storing data, it's about defining how that data should behave. Primary key gives a record a reliable identity. Foreign keys defines the relationship, and constants constraints help protect the integrity of those relationships. When we design these things correctly, we make it much easier to build reliable application as our system grows. Let's quickly summarize today's episode. First, a primary key uniquely identifies a record. Second, a foreign key connects records between tables. Third, foreign keys are commonly used to represent relationships such as one customer having many orders. Foreign keys can help maintain referential integrity. And finally, good database design helps prevent data problem before they becomes application problem. These may seem like basic concepts, but they are fundamental to building the reliable system. And that's it for today's episode. Primary keys and foreign keys may seem like small database concepts, but they form the foundation of how relational databases organize and connect information. Understanding these fundamentals helps us not only write better queries but also design better systems. And that's important lesson for every engineer. Good data design prevents problems before they become bugs. If you found this episode helpful, please like the video, subscribe to Anupam Tech Talk, and share it with someone who might find this useful. I'll see you in the next episode as we continue exploring practical engineering concepts. Thank you for watching.